It is essential that we hold focus to the new world that we want, to bringing about the peace, the love, the harmony, the compassion, the abundance, prosperity, the freedom, the joy, the money, the wealth, in a way that it is freedom and prosperity and love for all of humanity, not just a select few. We're going to be doing some tapping on the trusting that money is always going to be there for me. Because remember that you get what you think about most of the time. Whatever you think about most of the time, that is what is going to be created in your reality. Hello, welcome, Margarita here. Happy New Year! I know it's been almost a week. Can you believe it? It is almost a week since we ticked over into 2021. And this year is going to be so exciting on so many levels. And I realize that there's still a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of people who are operating from that state of fear because the landscape does not look like anything that we expected it to 12 months ago. 2020 was a year of massive disruption, which we really needed. The good news is that we are, as we are birthing a new consciousness, there was so much that was uncertain about how we would come through this time. This is one of the most incredible times for humanity. And it's super, super intense. Of course, birthing a new consciousness into the world was always going to be super intense. And there was so much that was undecided as to how it would develop on the other side. Would we even end up surviving the birth of new consciousness? Because there was a huge lack of consciousness around the world. So many people still not awake. And in order for the consciousness to happen, we need people to be awake. So, there were so many possibilities and different ways this could have evolved and eventuated. And the good news is that according to multiple light workers around the world, we have avoided some of the darkest possible timelines that we could have gone down. So, as I said, there were multiple ways that the consciousness could have evolved onto the planet. The consciousness is going to evolve onto the planet in whatever form that takes. And we are evolving into a whole new reality, a whole new way of being. And, whether we survive this or not, Mother Earth will carry on, the universe will carry on. And the good news is that we did reach a level of consciousness on the planet that was enough to avoid a lot of the really dark possibilities and a lot of the really dark timelines. That does not mean that it's going to be all smooth sailing over the next 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. There's still a lot that has to kind of be disrupted, and there's going to be some chaos along the way. The thing that we, as the conscious collective, you are a part of the conscious collective. Now, as a part of that, it is essential that we hold focus to the new world that we want, to bringing about the peace, the love, the harmony, the compassion, the abundance, prosperity, the freedom, the joy, the money, the wealth, in a way that it is freedom and prosperity and love for all of humanity, not just a select few. The problem in the past has been the massive imbalance that we have seen. And the law of attraction is always happening. And the forces that have been in control in the past, they know that. They understand that. And they understand that they know exactly how to work the law of attraction. and they know exactly how to plant seeds in the rest of humanity so that we have fear running interference. They have been planting seeds of fear and cultivating those seeds of fear within the rest of humanity for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Because they know as long as we have fear running interference, then we are unable to use the law of attraction to our advantage. So we have these roadblocks of fear, self-doubt, self-worth issues. Guess who freaking planted those seeds? The guys at the top, the controllers, the people who are mapping out what they want for the future. Well, they don't get to do that anymore because we are evolving, and we know that as long as we hold to the force of light, that we hold to the future that we want for the whole of humanity, not just a few people who get to play us like puppets and hold all the strings, then we get to take that control back. We get to decide what happens next on our planet, for humanity, for all the sentient beings who live here. That is now back in our control. So what's really important, regardless, there's so much information out there, and it depends on who you listen to as to who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. Who knows what's right and what's wrong anymore? We all have our vision and our version of what we think is the truth, who we think are the good guys. The problem is that because there is so much information and misinformation, and it's really hard, it is really hard to know the truth. Regardless of what you believe and you hold fast to your truth, how do you really, really know 100% sure that that's the truth? I know what I believe, and I believe in my heart that that's the truth. But do I really 100% know that that's the truth, or have I been deceived again? We've been deceived for so long. So what's really important is that we hold fast to the future that we see and that we want to see for humanity, for the planet, for all the beings that live and reside here. Safety, peace, love, harmony, understanding, acceptance, prosperity and abundance, joy, freedom, all that good stuff. That's what we focus on, and we let go of how that evolves. We let go of how that unfolds, and we trust. We trust with every fiber and cell of our being that good will win over evil, that the light will win the day over the dark forces. And we just hold that, and we hold the vision for the future, and we allow that to unfold. We allow the universe to take care of that, because that's actually not our business. There are players out there playing the game. It's all a game. They are playing the game. And there are many forces that have been playing us for a long time. If you allow yourself to get sucked into the narrative, you're being played. Whatever the narrative is, if you're getting sucked into the narrative, you're being played. So hold fast to the truth that you believe in your heart, but more than that, over and above that, focus on the vision that you want for humanity, for the planet, for our future, for our children. Hold fast to that vision and don't let go. Don't let anything run interference in that. Don't let fear, anxiety, stress, the uncertainty, let all that go. All the control measures that are being brought in, if you can, don't play into it. Don't be a part of it. Avoid it at all costs. I'm not saying that you do anything illegal. I'm not saying that you get yourself thrown in jail. Things are getting pretty full on and intense. But just don't participate. Refuse to participate as much as you possibly can in the current control agenda, because that's all it is, and it will die out. So how are we today? I hope that you have had a fantastic first few days of the new year, that you are really honing in on what it is that you want to create for yourself, how you would like to see 2021 unfold. Because don't forget that whilst there's all this other stuff going on around us, and there are other forces that do impact what's going to happen in the world, we get to control what happens for us. We do. It's up to us to create our own reality, moment by moment, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. We get to control our reality. Have you mapped out what it is that you want to see for yourself this year? Do you have a clear vision of what it is that you want to create? Because that's what is going to, you can't create something unless you have a clear vision of it. So have a clear vision of what it is that you want to create. We're going to be doing some tapping on the trusting that money is always going to be there for me. Because remember that you get what you think about most of the time. Whatever you think about most of the time, that is what is going to be created in your reality. Now, it's just not just the thinking process. You can think and think and think and think and think, but if your feelings aren't involved, if you don't have the trust and the faith that it's all going to actually transpire the way you envision it, the way you think it, then it's very, very hard. You're basically paddling your canoe upstream against whitewater rapids, which it's virtually impossible to paddle against whitewater rapids, or kind of is. So instead, what you really need to be doing is cultivate that feeling of trust, of knowing no matter what is happening around you, just trusting that it's all a part of the unfolding. It's all a part of the puzzle, if you like, the game of you getting from where you are to where you want to be. Even when things look like they're falling apart, they're actually falling together. Remember, when you're constructing a new reality, there's a whole heap of stuff that has to be deconstructed. This is the disruption. Look at what we saw last year, and right in our faces, that was the deconstruction of the old paradigms, and still is, in order for us to create new paradigms. It cannot happen any other way. You can't just create new paradigms and hold the old paradigms in place. It's impossible. It's the same with your money, abundance, and prosperity mindset, your wealth mindset. You have to deconstruct the old paradigms in order to create new ones. So if you're holding on to the thought that I'm super wealthy, I'm prosperous, I'm abundant, I've got all this money, and you've got fear, self-doubt, self-worth issues, you don't actually trust it, you're constantly going, well, where's the money? I keep thinking about it. Where's the money? I don't see it yet. I don't see it at this point. What's going on? What's going wrong? That's interference. If you're going, you know what, even though my bank account doesn't quite reflect the abundance and the prosperity and the wealth that I want yet, I'm just going to lean in and I'm just going to trust that it's all unfolding. There's no interference. You're just trusting the process. You're trusting the universe. You're backing yourself. You're taking inspired action from a place of love, and you're releasing the fear. You're always releasing the fear. You'll have fear come up. You're just releasing the fear. Some people talk about being fearless. I don't believe in being fearless. I believe every time you challenge yourself, every time you step up, because there's going to be challenges, and every time you get out of your comfort zone, there's going to be a level of fear. It is natural. But it's not allowing that fear to run interference. It is staying in that place of discomfort until you get to a point where that place is no longer uncomfortable. You are comfortable in that new place where you've pushed out your boundaries and you've stretched yourself and you've had new challenges. I experienced this just at the end of last year on a very big scale with what I took on with that project with the Christmas concert that I did. That pushed so many of my boundaries. It put me so far out of my comfort zone in so many ways. It was a new thing I'd never done before in many levels. And it was very, very challenging for me in many, many ways. And I had fear around that. I had stress around that. But in leaning into it and going with it and just doing it anyway, all of a sudden that comfort zone is my comfort zone is now stretched, and I have a different comfort zone that encompasses everything that I experienced, that encompasses all the growth that I had during those few weeks and during that time of performance. So you've got to lean into that. And the tapping that we'll be doing today is really focusing on building that trust in yourself, that money is always there for you, regardless of what you see. Because you remember, what you see is just the tip of the iceberg. So your bank account is not an actual reflection of your wealth paradigm. It's not. Your wealth paradigm can be completely different. It's just that it takes, there's this lag period for actually to show up as a number in your bank account. And it's trusting that. Because when you don't trust that, and you're like, oh, I'm super wealthy and I'm prosperous and I'm abundant and I've got all this money and I'm super rich, blah, blah, blah. Bank account doesn't reflect that. Oh my God, how am I going to pay the bills? Do you see how you're doing all this work, you're doing all this work, you're doing all this work, you're climbing, you're climbing, you're climbing. Then all of a sudden you look at your bank account and you just backslide all the way back down the hill. All that great work that you did, you just undid the whole lot. Being able to hold that frequency, be able to look at, when you need to, those numbers, to maybe do a bit of juggling, to maybe do a little bit of, a little bit of a dance, doing the dance with the money, until that vibration is so dominant in your reality, until the prosperity, the abundance, the wealth is so dominant within you, then it shows up in your bank account, and it continues to show up in your bank account, and you continue to do the work, and you continue to expand, and you continue to evolve and consolidate that vibration of prosperity and abundance. That's when it happens consistently. And until that point, you've just got to keep building the faith, building the trust, knowing that the universe has your back, that you are an incredibly wealthy, prosperous, abundant, rich being. And I'm going to be doing a 5-day free Limitless You challenge toward the end of this month. So in a couple of weeks' time, there'll be a Limitless You challenge, which will be all about developing this limitless mindset, so you can accomplish anything that you want to achieve by stepping into that limitless version of you, by activating that version of you, and then running with that this year. So that's going to be super exciting. If you want to be a part of the Limitless You program, then make sure that you comment below. And that's something that I'm going to be developing and running with in the next few weeks. So that's super exciting. All right. And the importance of holding our vibration and building this prosperity, wealth, and abundance mindset within all of us. It's not just about you. It's about the collective. It's about breaking down these paradigms that we have been so locked into for so long as a collective. We have to break those paradigms. We can't wait for somebody else to do it. And as we as individuals break the paradigms for ourselves, we break the paradigms for the whole of humanity. We break the paradigms for our children. We break the paradigms moving forward, and we build new paradigms for the whole planet. So this is not a selfish pursuit. Wealth is far from a selfish pursuit. When you are coming from a place of love and contribution and being able to help to facilitate the new consciousness, the new world, the new earth. I try to avoid the new world because it's been used in so many different contexts by the other side. But the new paradigm that we want to see on this planet, building wealth is one of the most important things you can do right now, because when you do it, you break those old paradigms. You help to build the wealth paradigm for the new humanity, the new consciousness, and the new future. So get over all the BS that this is about you, because it ain't. This is not about you anymore. Yes, you get to benefit from it. Yay! But it's not all about you. It's about the whole of humanity. Hold that in your vision as you build wealth. Know that you are doing it for the whole of humanity. Totally changes the equation. Are you ready to get into the tapping? Cool, cool. Awesome. All right. I'm being asked to update stuff on my computer. Don't do that. Hopefully I'm still live. Yes, I'm still live. Don't you hate that when all of a sudden your computer goes, oh, you have to update something, and then kicks you out? But I think we are still live. So let's get back into it. All right. So the tapping. I want you to start tapping on the karate chop point. If you're not familiar with tapping, it's okay. Do what I do. Repeat the words that I say. It's all good. So start by tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I have some fear around money and abundance, I don't feel as abundant as I would like. My experience right now doesn't feel as abundant as I'd like it to be. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me right now. Even though I don't quite trust money or wealth in my life at this point, I'm still not seeing the evidence of the money that I want showing up in my bank account. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me right now. Even though I've still got some fear, stress, and anxiety around money, it just doesn't seem to flow the way I'd like it to yet. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me right now. I look at my bank account. I see my bills. I still feel some stress and anxiety. I've still got some doubt around money. That feeling of abundance comes and goes. I'm not quite where I want to be with wealth yet. And I'm not really sure money's going to show up when I need it. I still have this doubt. I still have some stress and anxiety around money. I don't know when it's going to show up. Is it going to show up in time? Am I going to be able to pay all my bills? Am I going to be able to afford the things that I want? Oh, I just haven't seen it yet. And I've got all this evidence to show me that it's not there when I need it. Money isn't always there when I need it. That creates a lot of anxiety and stress. Choose to relax and let go. I choose to trust that money will always be there for me. I choose to trust and know that money will always be there for me. I choose to relax and let go of all the doubt. I let go of all my emotional attachment to the doubt and the fear around money. I let go of all the stories that I have created around money so I can live with a new paradigm. And I choose to lean in and trust the process. I choose to lean in and know that money is always there for me. I trust that money is always there for me when I need it. I trust with all my heart and soul that money is there for me in abundance. I trust with every fiber and cell of my being that money, wealth, prosperity is growing in my vibration. And as it grows in my vibration, I experience more and more wealth, prosperity, and abundance in my physical reality. I trust and know that there is infinite abundance of wealth and money available for me right now. I know that the only thing that's stopping it is me. So I let go of all the stories, all the fears, doubts, anything that's running interference, I release now. I release all emotional attachment to anything that is running interference with my money and wealth paradigm. Subconscious mind. Speaking directly to your subconscious mind now. Subconscious mind. I instruct you to find, uncreate, and destroy all paradigms of fear, doubt, and anything that's running interference in my wealth paradigms. Subconscious mind. I instruct you to build only paradigms around infinite abundance, wealth, and money in my life. Subconscious mind. I trust in you. And I trust in me. I trust in the universe. I trust that money is always there for me. I trust that money is always there for me in abundance. I trust in the wealth that is growing in my life. I trust that I am an infinitely abundant being and that money is flowing effortlessly in my life. I choose to lean in and trust the process. I choose to take the inspired action, releasing all fears, doubts, and interference. when it comes to money, I always act from love, not fear. Love for myself, love for this beautiful experience of life, love for others, releasing all fears. I choose to trust and have faith in money. I choose to trust and have faith that money is always there for me in infinite abundance. Thank you, thank you, thank you, money, for always being there in infinite abundance. Thank you, thank you, thank you, money, for always showing up in abundance whenever I need you to fulfill my every heart's desire. Thank you, thank you, thank you, money, for being there in infinite abundance. I trust you're always there for me, money. Thank you for always being there for me, money. Thank you, thank you, thank you, money, for flowing in my life with infinite abundance. Thank you, universe, for showing me the path to prosperity and abundance and wealth. Not just for me, but for all of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you, money. Thank you, thank you, thank you, universe. Thank you for all the infinite abundance. Thank you, money, for being there in abundance. I trust and have faith in the evolving and the unfolding of my wealth and prosperity. Whatever that journey looks like, I will never lose faith. I always trust in the unfolding and know that it's perfect. Releasing all interference, building that trust and that faith in every fiber and cell, right to the depths of my heart and soul. Okay, taking a deep breath and releasing it. Taking another deep breath and letting it out. Awesome. How are you feeling right now? I would love for you to give me some feedback. Let me know how that resonated with you. Let me know how that impacted you, what you're feeling that's different. Are you feeling more empowered, more inspired? This is the vibration that you need to cultivate and hold on to as much as you possibly can. Now, that's not to say that as the old habits, because the old habits are going to hold on and cling to you. You've got to remember that the subconscious has put those fears in place for a reason. It believes it's keeping you safe. So the deconstruction of those habits will take as much time as they will take. I get, questions asked all the time, but when am I going to see it happen? It'll happen when it happens. You just have to trust the process and know that as you deconstruct the old paradigms and construct the new paradigms, at some point, there is a tipping point. As long as you are consistent, this is the key, is the consistency. There will be a tipping point where the dominant vibration, the dominant thought patterns, the dominant belief systems will be of prosperity, abundance, wealth, massive amounts of money, And once you can hold that as your dominant vibration, that's when things will change. Nothing will change unless you change, unless your vibration changes. So if you're not seeing the results that you want right now, you've got to check your dominant vibration. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I have mastered this yet. I am still a work in progress. Of course, we all are. Every single person who is still on the planet is a work in progress. It's choosing to do the work that's important. And to notice if you haven't got the results that you want, unpack that. What's running interference for you? What is blocking you? Is it the belief systems? Is it the fears? Is it the doubts? Is it all of it? It probably is. It's a whole bundle of stuff. And it's being willing to do the deep dive, to do the work, to really weed out those beliefs, fears, all the paradigms that are running interference, and be willing to release them. And also within that, taking inspired action at the same time. A lot of your beliefs will change when you start to take positive action toward your future. So, woohoo, buzzing with happiness. Good, Rita, that's awesome. Michelle, awesome. You got to jump back in, super cool. Easy, great experience, thanks. Awesome. Easy or ease, sorry, ease, Matthew. So good. Thank you so much for honoring me with your presence today. Remember, if you would like to hear more about the Limitless You program, the 5-day, it's a free 5-day intensive program that I am putting together. That's going to run in a couple of weeks' time. I will give you more details very, very soon. If you would like details, let me know, because you're going to need to register for this program. So I can't wait to run it. It's going to be so amazing. So many concepts I'm going to share with you, so much tapping that we're going to do. Well, there's probably not going to be so much tapping, but there's going to be a lot of concepts that I will share with you. There's going to be a lot that you'll be able to release during the program. It's going to be a massively abundant year for so many of you for doing the work. So Michelle's in for the Limitless You program. Awesome. Okay, so as I put together the details, I will release the details very, very soon. Happy 2021. Build your vision for your year now and focus on that relentlessly. I know that everything is going to fold out beautifully. Oh, you've never done that before, Michelle. Wow. Okay, Rita's in. Awesome, awesome. So know that you are capable of achieving anything you put your mind to, anything. You must build that vision for what it is that your heart desires, what it is that you are absolutely committed to creating this year, and then go for it. So look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a fabulous week. I will release those details for the Limitless You program very, very soon. Take care. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Love you loads, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.